He was just there to give me his moral support. He was just talking to me and encouraging me. And I'll say it really motivated me to move forward. I wanted to do this mainly because of my parents. Yes.
And that's fantastic. You need that support. I mean, I don't like when people say I made it all by myself, because you didn't make it all by yourself.
Yeah.
There was a mentor, there was a teacher, there was a friend, a neighbor, aunt, uncle, someone that encouraged you during those rough times, because no matter what type of career you pursue, there are going to be rough times, there are going to be challenges. And it's great to know that you had your father there and both your parents there supporting you. And your father really pushing you. He seen something naughty like that. Hey, it's going to be challenges. It's going to be setbacks, but you're going to have that through the rest of your life, okay? And so he said to you, which is very encouraging. Now, I try to preach that to my children also. I don't think they always hear me though, but he says to me that, meet those challenges, go one by one and keep going. A challenge is not always a Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Career Education Learning Center podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Rivers. I am elated and ecstatic to have Nadia Bekoe on our show today. Nadia is a graduate student at Oklahoma State University studying Biosystems Engineering. How are you doing today, Nadia?
It's great. Thank you for having me. Well, I am doing very well. How are you doing?
I am doing great since you now come on our show. We're going to have a fantastic time today. Nadia, tell our audience a little bit about yourself and why you chose to go to Oklahoma State to do your graduate studies.
Okay, so my name is Nadia Bekoe. You didn't pronounce it well the first time.
And the audience, I told her I would mess it up.
Okay, so my name is Nadia Bekoe, and I am currently a graduate student and a research assistant at Oklahoma State University studying Biosystems Engineering. I'm actually doing my master's. I wouldn't say I chose Oklahoma State University. I would say Oklahoma State University chose me because that was the only school I completed application for at the end of the day. Biosystems Engineering, I'm specializing in bioenergy, but then there are several aspects of the Biosystems Engineering. The department is actually the Department of Biosystems and Agricultural Engineering. I had my bachelor's degree in agricultural engineering, which was mainly scattered. So I decided to choose biosystems engineering or bioenergy and specialize in that area. Yes. So coming to Oklahoma State University, throughout the application period, I actually didn't want to come and do my master's abroad. I wanted to do my PhD rather abroad. So I wanted to do my master's locally and get the skills, get the experience, and come and further my PhD abroad because I thought that'll make it very easy. Although I saw people leaving straight with their bachelor's into PhD and also leaving straight, I thought I didn't have the skills and I wasn't up there to get the opportunity to come abroad. So I was applying for local scholarships, which I got anyway. But I saw professors advertising that they needed students and all those kind of things. And I sent emails to professors saying I would like to work with them. I got feedback from some. I didn't get feedback from some. I got negative responses. And I also got over 100 emails I sent. I got 3 positive responses, which was good. And Oklahoma State University was one of them.
You're coming from Ghana, right? How did your parents feel about you going abroad to study for graduate studies?
I would say actually when you're in Ghana, traveling abroad is a big deal because you get exposed to a lot of opportunity, and especially coming to the US is a very, very big deal. Yes, because there are a lot of opportunities here. We see the United States to be like a land of opportunities that when you come here and you get the right education, you get the right job, you'll be able to thrive through more thick and thin. Yes, so coming here, it was a very big opportunity and my parents were very proud. They were very happy to see me come here. The only thing that I would say would be off is that their daughter is going far away from them.
Yeah.
I'm traveling far, they will miss me. But we still connect. And well, I'll say every parent to be proud to see their child like moving further, moving ahead in life, because my parents actually didn't have, let me say, formal education. Yes. So they wanted to do everything in their power to see that their kids have the best of education. And they have actually done very well. I appreciate them for their support. I appreciate them for their sacrifices. So also putting in my best and putting in every effort to get to this point, I would say they are very proud of me. They are very proud that I've put in a lot of work to get this far. Yes, so that's what I have to say about that.
Well, I'm very proud of you too, Nadia. I just met you and I'm very proud. I'm proud of your journey. I'm proud of what you want to become and everything else. When did you know that you were interested in something like bioengineering or an environment? Was that at an early age when you really felt passionate about the environment?
No, actually, growing up, I had always wanted to do something in medicine because my mom, she gets excited when she sees young people in the hospital, like young doctors, young nurses in the hospital. So I wanted to do something in that line so that just to make her happy. You get it. But when I started, I knew I didn't like reading. Reading was very difficult for me. The big words in medicine and everything was just like, but I just wanted to do it because I just wanted to make her happy or something like that. Although there's nothing like they're forcing you to go into this field, they're forcing you to go into that. But I just saw that she's happy when she sees young doctors, young nurses, and I wanted to be that for her. But when I got to, let me say, high school, I did general science. I majored in general science. And I realized I didn't like all the biology and the chemistry, but I like the elective maths and the core maths and all those kind of things. But when I was going into college, I decided to still choose courses in the medical aspect. Well, I didn't get admitted for any of those options, but I did my bachelor's in agricultural engineering at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Ghana. And even in Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, I actually chose courses in the labs, the medicine, all those kind of things. But I didn't get admission for that. And they later sent me a message saying that, yes, I do have good grades, but then these are some other options that are good for you. These are some other programs that we STEAM you fit into. So I saw agricultural engineering, and I had already selected agricultural engineering as a different university. So I was like, since that university didn't give me that, let me just choose that for Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And I don't regret making that decision. So I made that decision mainly based on my love for maths and my love for machinery. So when I got into my second year, I was very, very interested in machinery, because that was what engineering was all about.
Yes.
Yeah. Interested in machines, interested in fixing things, interested in building things. So I did an internship after my second year, and that was in an irrigation firm. Yes, so it's made me more interested in irrigation. I was like, because I didn't really have a plan. I didn't really know where I wanted to go to. So it's like, when I see this and I like it, I want to go here. When I see this and I like it, I want to go here. So now I wanted to go into irrigation. I was very fascinated by everything that was going on, from the plants growing, everything was actually structured, giving the plants water, the sensors and everything. I was so fascinated. So I wanted to go into irrigation, and there was a lot of money there. Yeah. So I wanted to go there. But I went to talk with a mentor who was my professor back during my undergraduate studies. And I was telling him, oh, I really want to go into irrigation. That was after my second year, when I was in my third year. I really want to go into irrigation. Now I'm very fascinated about everything that's going on. And he was like, I should relax, get through the course, finally settle on what I want to do after going through everything. And I told him, okay, so I was just studying the course. And in my third year, I did a course in irrigation. And it was very mind blowing. Like, I actually didn't really get everything that was going on. There was formulas on every slide I encountered. You have to chew everything. It was so not something I wanted to do at the end of the day because it became very, very difficult and very, very complex. So I decided to just relax and at the end of the day, just choose something. But at the end of the day, I got to work after my undergraduate studies. I got to work with this same professor, and he is into bioenergy and also into like renewable energy, solar panel, and those wind and stuff. I got to work under him. I got to ask him a lot of questions. I got to get a lot of insight. I got to work on a project with him, and he built my confidence. Actually, he took me through every aspect of the program, or let me say the project I wanted to know. He was patient to teach. I got to learn a lot of things, and that was what actually influenced me to do bioenergy. So at the beginning period of my application, you see, if I see a professor who is looking for students in agricultural, let's say agricultural machinery, I want to just send an email to him because initially I had an interest in that. But when I finally found my path, when I finally knew, no, when I'm writing about bioenergy, I actually flow. I actually have the skills in bioenergy. I really like this field. So it's made writing to professors about my interests very easy because now I know I have found something I love. So talking about it and writing about it, I can go on and on and on, and there's nothing that will break me. Yes. So I knew I had found the right path, and it was very easy to get opportunities in that path because I already like developed my skills in that path, and I already took the time to learn a lot of things about bioenergy and also about climate change and environmental sustainability. And I would say one other thing that made me know that this is the right program I have chosen is because of the climate change, like crisis going on in the world currently. And we are all trying to find solutions to maintaining a sustainable environment and maintaining like a plastic-free environment, and also we want to sustain the world so that it becomes like a better place for the generation to come. So it also reinforces my decision that yes, I made the right choice and I chose the right program.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you really embellishing that. Man, I've learned a lot. Because I try to tell students, like, go for what you're passionate, go for what you love. And you did the internship, which I stress a lot, and then you found your passion and you pursued that passion. And so now you pursue something that you love, and it's not really something I would call hard work or whatever. It's just like something that you just want to do, right? I mean, something you want to find out the answers to. And that's great when I see young people, as your mother get excited about seeing young people being doctors and nurses, I get excited about young people pursuing their passion. Yeah. And it's great that you came on our podcast today to talk about your passion for that. And it's something we really need. You're right. I mean, sustainability in the environment is very important. Clean water. What do we do with all this waste? I mean, we have so much waste, especially plastic waste. I mean, here in America, every grocery store has plenty of water bottles. We use plastic bottles for everything. What we do with all that plastic ware? All the plastic bottles. We have paper plates, paper cups, paper silverware, everything, paper. In America, we just want to dispose of everything. Like, we want everything easy and convenient. And so for you to be part of a team, for you to be part of this young people who want to make sure that we have sustainable environment in our country and in our world, I think is very exciting. Yeah. I really do.
Yeah. I'd say, like, sometimes growing up, we begin to see a lot of things that we want to pursue at the end of the day. We see this, we want to do it. We see this, we want to do it. But I would say getting a mentor actually helps. It directs you. It makes you, it just shapes you. It makes you know if you're on the right path or not. But you just come out of yourself and do something you like. If you are doing something you like, you just know it becomes easy. You know you're studying something you love. It doesn't seem difficult for you because it's something you actually want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are doing it because you want to get somewhere, then if you are not getting to where you want to get to, that's when it becomes a problem because you're like, I did this because I wanted to get here. Why am I not getting there? And that is where the depression and everything sets in. I want to get this, I want to get that, you're not getting it. So it becomes depressing and you don't know. It's like you feel you've hit the points where you have to break down, you have to break out, but that's not how it's supposed to be. So students actually pursue programs that they are not interested in, and when they begin to get like the low scores, they begin to get F's, they begin to get C's, it's like they begin to like question themselves, why did I even do this program? Why am I doing something I don't like? Why am I doing this? And that's where depression sets in. But if you are doing something you love, no, this is what I actually want to do. If I know I got wrong in this, or I got like a B or a C in this, I'm looking for ways to make me better. I'm not bringing myself down because I know this is actually something I want to do for myself and for me. I'm not looking at anyone. This is what I want to do for myself. Yes, so I would say we should actually just get a mentor to guide us, because we would, at the end of the day, there are lots of things going on around in the world that we would say, we want to do this, we want to do that. I would say, like, everyone does not just have a direct path. We don't have just one thing we want to do. I'll even make sure you are doing different things. You are having a podcast because at some point you wanted to do a podcast. You wanted to like educate people. You wanted to mentor people. You wanted to let people see different things from different aspects. That's why you decided to have this podcast. Yeah, which is a great initiative. Thank you for that. But you are also doing something. You're a director somewhere else. You are doing other things. Personally, I sew as passion. When I was back in Ghana, I was sewing as a business. You get it? It's we have different fields that we all want to do at the end of the day. But I would say just go in for something you love so that it will keep you going. If you go in for something because you just want to go in for it, that is where when you hit a rock bottom, you're like, yes, I've hit the rock bottom. I have to go and do a different thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I can see why come the professor wanted you so bad because you are really right on the money with that, because mentorship is important. And we try to preach mentorship here at the Career Education Learning Center. You know, it's very important if you have somebody mentor you. That way you won't make the same mistakes that they made, and it can guide you on your way to where you want to succeed.
Yeah.
And so that helps. So you have a person right there to guide you to where you want to succeed. And yes, and I've been with many discussions about passion and going for something other than money. Especially here in America, most of the time they will go to a profession or go into getting something degree and something only for the money or for their parents and what their parents want them to do, and not for what they want to do, right? And as you said, if there comes a roadblock while you're trying to pursue that program, that certification, that license, then you have to give up and just quit. Then rather than, if that's something that you really want to do, then you're going to do everything within your power, even if you have to take the class over again to achieve that goal. Yeah. And so I think it's very important that you go for something that you're passionate about, although your parents may not always agree with that. And I'm sure a lot of parents are looking at me crazy, like, no, I signed up for my daughter or my son to do this, and I want them to have a safe way of life. And parents, and as a parent myself, we always in that protective mode for our children, right? When children get something safe and have a good job and do this and that and go through life without any troubles, and that's not reality. That's not reality. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have obstacles. You're going to have setbacks. And the thing that we as parents have to teach is, how do you handle those setbacks? How do you handle those challenges? And so our job as parents is to teach our children how to go through setbacks and challenges and stress, how to get through that, because it's just a part of life.
I wanted to touch a bit on you saying that parents should like encourage and support their kids. So When I was coming here, I actually faced a lot of challenges. Yes, there was a point where I wanted to like give up. Why am I even doing this when I can just do this in Ghana? Because why am I just stressing myself to go through all this to get the visa, to get the plane tickets, to just get all this when I can get everything in Ghana? And there was a point my dad was like, no, you are like, just look at how everything is just going. After when you meet a challenge, God just finds a solution. So I should just know that it is just a season. I'll look back and I'll talk about it that yes, this was like a process that I had to go through. So he was the one encouraging me to like every step through my applications to, although he didn't have a lot of knowledge about these graduate school and traveling outside, but he was just there to give me his moral support, his like, he was just talking to me and encouraging me. And I'd say it really motivated me to move forward. I wanted to do this mainly because of my parents, yes.
And that's fantastic. You need that support. I mean, I don't like when people say I made it all by myself, because you didn't make it all by yourself.
Yeah.
There was a mentor, there was a teacher, there was a friend, a neighbor, aunt, uncle, someone that encouraged you during those rough times, because no matter what type of career you pursue, there are going to be rough times, there are going to be challenges. And it's great to know that you had your father there and both your parents there supporting you. And your father really pushing you. He seen something naughty like that. Hey, it's going to be challenges. It's going to be setbacks. But you're going to have that through the rest of your life, okay? And so he said to you, which is very encouraging. And I try to preach that to my children also. I don't think they always hear me, though. But he says to me that, meet those challenges, go one by one, and keep going. A challenge is not always a rejection that you should not go through it. The challenge is, okay, maybe you need to try a little harder. I had a man just say, and I got my license certification as far as being a licensed broker. And he said, look, if you flunk the test, it's just a test. It doesn't mean that God said, oh, well, God didn't mean for me to do that. No, that means you need to study harder. That means you need to put down a TV or put down a video game and study harder. And so a lot of times, those challenges are not challenges to say, I should not do that. That challenge is saying you should concentrate more on that craft.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people get that messed up to where it's not meant for me to be. But as we stated earlier, if you have a passion for it, and I always found out that people who knew what they want to do in life make life much more easier, and they have a passion for it, they're going to concede, as we used to say, come hell or high water. Whatever it takes to do it, they would do it. If it's studying more, if it's going to their professor more, if it's seeking outside help, whatever they can do to succeed in their objective, then they're going to do that. Yeah. So I also saw in your profile something to do with the President's Celebration Leadership, and that's something.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's actually not like a big deal, but it is a big deal because this is my first semester.
Oh, yes. See, I'm glad I brought that up. Tell us a little bit about that, Nadia.
So it was actually a program. It was like a lead for success program where we were taking through series of let me see. It was just I don't know how to put it. It was a 2-day intensive program to teach us like skills for us to develop to become great leaders. Okay. Yes. So we were taking through. It was like a whole day, 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, where we met. I actually had to apply to get into it. So when I got into it, we met. They taught us like certain skills, like how should I say it? Communication skills, influence, learning agility, and there's one last one. I don't remember. Yeah, so they taught us how to like develop those skills so that we can be good leaders. And it was a big deal for me because it was my first semester here, and I'm actually anticipating taking like leadership roles, although I see myself as a leader already because I'm mentoring students. Yes. So it was a big deal for me when I actually got a certificate for that, and they actually gave from the president of the school. Yeah.
Yeah, that is fantastic, Nadia. That is fantastic. I am so proud of you. Continue to mentor other people, and I think that's great. That even at your age, I always preach, let's mentor the younger generation. that's mentor those who want to pursue the same goals and dreams that we have,
Yeah.
So that is fantastic. Before we leave, Nadia, can you give any advice for any students that may want to go international and go abroad to study? Do you have any advice or suggestions for them?
Yes, I would say that studying abroad is actually not easy. There are a lot of things that when I came here, there are a lot of things I had to learn and a lot of things that I had to unlearn. Yes, so I would say you should be prepared for it. It's not everything that will go smooth. You don't expect everything to go smooth because you are in America. It's not easy here. Everything is not easy. There are things that will be easy because you are getting the funds, you are studying, but you have to work for it. You have to work to prove yourself. So that doesn't make it easy. And also, when you get here, I would say just ask questions. I actually didn't ask a lot of questions. Initially, I didn't know like I could come out and study abroad on funding. Mm-hmm. It was later that I got to know about this because the people around me were into it and I had to learn from them. So I had to ask them questions to be able to get there. So every step you need someone to like tell you how they did it, because if you rely on your own knowledge and also rely on like online information, it might not be as we see online. You actually need someone who has gone through the process to also guide you through it. And when you get here, there are people who are coming in August, or let me say the fall semester. There are things that are not like they say. There are lots of things here. We say it. Sometimes we get here, people want to come to America because they see us like having a good life in America. Yeah. But sometimes it's not always as you see it. There are challenges. We get to our beds, we cry because of things going on that we can't just say it outside. So just be prepared for it, and don't have the mindset that when you come here, everything will be fine and your problems are solved. It's not always like that. We have like challenges and you get through them.
Thank you so much for that advice, Nadia. I'm pretty sure our audience would take that in consideration and know that things are not always what you see on TV. Okay. I know a lot of people, international students come here, even especially back in my day from high school, we had exchange students, and they would see on TV one thing about America, and then they come here, it's a different reality, right? Yeah. Not everyone has big houses, big cars, and party and have fun all the time. That's not everyone's life. That's only the TV life they portray. And so it's not always there. Yeah. Nadia, thank you so much for coming on our show today. I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much for having me. I also appreciate it.
And I would like to thank our viewers and listeners for joining me on another episode of the Career Education Learners in the Podcast, where we're making your career dreams a reality. God bless.